And ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the 2018 YugiTuber Grand Championship. In this match, we have HardLeg Gaming playing Crystrons going up against Rank10YGO playing 60-card clusterfuck because I don't know half the cards in his deck. It's nothing. It's a Lightsworn deck, but it's way more than that. But with us for this commentary, we have the pleb master himself, Table 500's best, Farfa.
Happening, plebs. We are here to get our lame on, so I am here to tell you all about the Crystrons. So let's get straight into it. We've got the Crystron plays here, and yeah, well, basically for those of you, I'm just gonna treat you like you're completely unfamiliar with this deck. What you're trying to do with this deck is you're gonna set up a board similar to Yang Zing in a way, and he's gonna have these little bitty tiny guys, and you're going to make plays on your opponent's turn. So that's what we're trying to do here. We're trying to set up and disrupt our opponent as much as possible. So that's what we've got going on right now.
Yeah, so we got a very reactive deck with a bunch of cards that are Formula Synchron-esque in nature. And we got that Starlight Junction field spell up too, which Farfa can correct me here, but I believe that means every time he Synchro Summons, it shuffles a card back into the deck.
Yep, so basically the most important fact is when you Synchro Summon during your opponent's turn, you shuffle a card away. So you're going to be having things like you can put your opponent's monsters to defense, you can banish their monsters on their turn with your Crystrons, and then the field spell on top of that is going to spin things away. So it's very good for disruption.
Is it a once per turn?
Yes, it is once per turn. That'd be a little bit nuts.
Okay,
I'm not personally. I'm not a fan of the card because I feel like it's a little bit win more, and it does need you to be like in a very commanding position. But I feel like if you are in a commanding position, then you know it's fine, right? But who knows? It is Crystron, right?
Because I saw that he went to the Quandax, and I know Quandax is another synchro tuner monster that has the effect to go into something else.
Yeah. So the most common monster is the Citri, who specials a guy from the graveyard and then synchros instantly, and then Quandax is literally just a tuner synchro for your opponent's turn. It's basically Forma Synchro, but it's level 4. So it looks like here he's going to go into 7 plus 2 is 9. And he's going
into Big Crystron, which you can inform us what that does, because I am very ignorant on the Crystron cards.
So Garion Quandax is a level 9 that requires 2 tuners to make, not 2 non-tuners, which is a bit odd. But yeah, so 2 tuners. And he can banish 3 face-up cards your opponent controls. And I think in the graveyard as well. You can banish cards in the grave, I think.
Okay. So it's kind of like a Crystron Trishula in a way.
Yeah, like it's really, really powerful. Like normally if you can resolve him, then you're just in such a good position, which we can see here. He is like in a very commanding position.
So I was going to ask you, is Ties of the Brethren a very conventional card in this deck?
So when I first looked at this, I thought it was terrible in this deck because I thought it had like a condition on it where you can't special for the rest of the turn. But it's completely fine. It is actually a really good card to run in Crystron. It's a little bit slower for your own turn, but yeah, it's okay because like you're trying to set up on your opponent's turn. So you're just gonna get out a bunch of tuners during your own turn, set up a big board so that you can synchro everything away and shuffle your opponent's stuff. So it's okay. It's basically it's fine.
So rank 10 with that Silent Magician onto the field, which basically is a Silent Swordsman. It just negates a spell card on activation, and then we'll special summon a big Silent Magician. So the Silent Magician level 8 with that 3,500 body.
So when it's destroyed, so it floats into it, right?
It floats into it, yeah, and Silent Magician level 8 is unaffected by all spell effects, whereas Silent Swordsman level 7 pretty much just is like Jinzo, where like all spells are negated. So Silent Swordsman level 7's a little bit better, but Silent Magician has the much bigger body, so I guess that's like the trade-off there. But with rank 10 playing Silent Swordsman Magician Lightsworn, I mean... There's probably trains in there too. I mean, who knows?
It's just cards that he's found and he's put into a deck.
This is a table 500 match. Probably, if there's going to be a table 500 match of the tournament, this would probably be the definition of it.
Yeah, for sure.
The best part is one of these players will move on. So
that's the tragedy. One of these decks is going to go further.
You're saying tragedy. I think that's great.
Yeah, that's true. So this trap card, for anyone who's curious, basically what you can do with this thing is it specials a banished monster during your, well, it's a trap, so it just specials a banished monster whenever you activate it, and you basically use this with Quandax, so you can activate Quandax to synchro on your opponent's turn, and then chain the trap to bring back another material, so you can go into a bigger synchro. But the thing that really catches people out with this trap card is that it has a grave effect, where if your opponent tries to target one of your Crystrons, then you can just like negate it. So
I just saw there, not to cut you off, but I just saw that HardLeg crashed his Crystron level 9 synchro into the Silent Magician, and then it has a floating effect where it looks like he could target a banished monster of rank 10 and special summon it. So he took the snow.
Yeah, so Garen Quandrax floats when it dies. When it's destroy a battle card effect, you can target a banished monster, accept himself, and then special it. And I didn't even realize this till recently. It's the opponent's banished zone as well counts. So you can.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Especially for this deck.
Yeah. Like generally, like it is better to go into like just bring back your own tuner so you can keep synchroing.
Oh, sure.
But it means it's in this scenario he wants snow because that's like the disruption. That's like he doesn't want to be disrupted, so obviously he's going to take snow. So he's just going to keep that on the field, just chilling, and it means that Rata is going to have nothing to stop him. But
BLS coming down here, but it looks like that's going to get met with Trishula.
Yep. Trishing on your opponent's turn. That's
Seems
why I
good.
love this deck.
Seems pretty good. But that's also cool too because with the level 9 synchros effect, because since all the Crystrons banish and have like a banish effect, you pretty much can just like modulate your graveyard or your banish zone rather for like to get like whichever one is the most ideal for whatever situation.
Yeah, exactly.
That's pretty good. There's all the little synergies that slowly work together.
And you need to be really good at maths with this deck. So, you got to plan ahead with those, which synchro you're going into. Are you going into a 7? You're going to go into a 9? So I'm not very good at this deck, but I do like it.
But you understand it. And that's partially why I wanted you here.
I get what it does. I couldn't do it myself. I'm a driving instructor that can't drive, I guess.
It's okay. So activating the trap card here, which, as you said, special summons from grave.
Banished.
Or from banished, sorry.
I think it's banished. Yeah, I believe it's banished.
It was banished. Yeah, it was banished. And then going into Mastar Boy.
So one of the problems with this deck is like having like once you make your big synchro because of Master Rule 4, trying to make another synchro on your opponent's turn is really tough. So you have to play Starboy to link away your field. But if you're linking away your field, you're linking away your important tuners and stuff. Which is why like the trap card is so important, which is why like your normal summon is extremely important in this deck. It's very hard to like play through a normal summon, and that's why he's playing ties as well, I guess, so he can just put more bodies on the board like after he's done that link play and stuff.
Well, I could see for post Master Rule 4 why Quandax in particular would be so, Starlight Junction would be so crucial, because you can make Quandax Junction triggers to spin something, and then Quandax can trigger to make something that actually disrupts them. So it's kind of like 2 layers of disruption they have to play through at the cost of playing a card like Junction. Yeah. So, yeah. But it looks like HardLeg took that game 1 pretty convincingly there. And now that we have a better idea of what exactly this deck does, for anyone who doesn't know, we're going to be getting into game number 2. But rank 10 is going to be starting, so now it's going to be hopefully a much different game, because this is not the deck you want to be playing going second.
He's I feel like decks like Lightsworn have potential to go second. Maybe not Rata's deck specifically, but Lightsworns are okay at going second, I think.
Yeah. Well, compared to Crystron going second, I think.
Yeah, for sure.
So rank 10 hitting double wolf here, 1 off the reasoning and 1 off the solar recharge. That seems pretty good.
So curious
especially
to see
in a 60 card deck.
Yeah, he's definitely getting a little lucky there, but what is he actually doing is kind of the question here. Like, he's putting these bodies on, but I don't think he really has anything for Joe's turn, right?
Not yet, but I mean, there is the potential, because now that he goes into a Minerva, I mean, if he mills more, I mean, who knows? So
milling, so I think that Twilight Sworn mills more if you mill. It's like curious. I think that's how they work. I'm not 100%.
Is it? We can check it. We have we have the power of the internet.
So I think that's Twilight Lumina he's got on the
Twilight Lumina, yes.
Alright, okay. So you can banish a Lightsworn from your hand or grave and then special banish Lightsworn. If your other Lightsworn monster's effect is activated, send the top 3. Yeah, okay, cool.
Oh, okay.
So it is basically, they're all like curious. I think they all have that effect.
Okay.
So big graveyard here. Literally half the
Yeah.
deck has been milled turn 1. So that's
And we saw. I'm pretty sure there was some snow. At least one copy of snow.
I should hope so. If there isn't, then I don't know.
It's a statistical anomaly, if
Yeah.
not. But I mean, Rank 10's field isn't really that threatening here. I mean, you got the Minerva, and I mean, Minerva can be threatening. We've seen in some of the other matches, Minerva can be just a beast.
I was thinking to myself, like, what could he make really to help? Like, you could go Baguska, but the thing is, like, if you put all your Crystrons in defense, unless he's making a Link monster, he's going to have to go to attack at some point, right?
Right.
And if he goes to attack, that means the Crystrons can activate their effects. But like we said at the start, it plays on your opponent's turn, not your own turn. So it doesn't matter if you're negated on your own turn. So that's not really strong here. So it's hard to think of like what Rada can actually do to overcome this Crystron strategy.
Yeah, because all he really needs to do is, I mean, HardLeg just has to Citry and make anything really. Then he can shuffle back Minerva, so that won't trigger. Yeah. And then whatever he makes with, I mean, okay, Dimensional Barrier. That actually hurts a lot.
So he's got the numbers and he's got the setup here for the full like Garion Quandrax play. He would banish his whole field, but the D-barrier on Synchro is very crippling. You can't do anything at all after you've been D-barred for Synchro with this deck. And BLS in the field, BLS. Big Daddy Boy,
and Judgment Dragon.
I would assume that's live.
If not, I would. Rank 10 should just quit if that's not live with a 30-card graveyard. And he's got Silent Sword / Banishing, so this allows him to banish to search for Silent Swordsman, which you tribute a warrior monster to special summon it, and then it can negate a spell card, which is pretty nifty. I only know this because PK Fire sometimes plays these cards.
I'm trying to think of a way that he can maybe game him, but he's got 3 bodies and he's got the trap as well, so I'm not really sure how Rada can actually game him here.
I feel like there's a way because like he has so many monsters, but like I feel like he just doesn't have the damage. But the trap will actually save him though too, won't it?
The trap will chump block for him, yeah.
Yeah. So I feel like he just needed, I don't know. It's like he needed like just like one extra monster maybe. Or like a way to like kind of like have one more source of removal before attacking. Possibly.
I think he would have had to do like some crazy stuff, like link away his Minerva and like a bunch of other guys into a Curious, and then summon Snow like 5 times to like make more like rank 4s and stuff.
Well, he has the graveyard to make Snow 5 times.
Yeah, exactly.
So he maybe could have done that.
Yeah. So he probably didn't realize like the trap was there and he was going to chump block again. But he's ending on a pretty convincing board here. Like Decode Talker is really strong against Crystron.
Silent Swordsman as well, so that means he can negate any spell. Which I mean, Crystron's Starlight Junction's already live, so that might not be as relevant. But like if you had like a board wipe, let's say, that would protect it from him.
It's a very monster effect heavy deck. You're completely relying on your engine. It's a very good deck here. You want to rely on your engine cards, not your not the right Gekis and Dark Holes. But if he can try and establish the Garion Quandrax again, he's gonna be in a really good position because it's gonna be really hard through the snow. Which you probably has like 2 or 3 snow at this point.
Yeah, I was gonna say he should have at least a couple at this point. So now he can just flip all of HardLeg's tuners face down. Just so that it makes it like impossible for him to work with anything. Also interesting to note that rank 10, it looks like he's siding Chaos Hunter for this matchup, which I think's a little bit
that's on the top of his grave, huh?
What do you think about that?
So what does it do again? It's like Iron Wall on legs, right?
So your opponent cannot banish cards once it's on the field.
Right. Honestly, it's not. I don't think it's that good. It stops the boss monster, which is the big thing. But you're still able to actually, you can still make plays.
Yeah.
You can still synchro into stuff. You're just not going to be disrupting your opponent at all with a. It
kind of just cuts off the resource engine to me. It seems.
So here, Snow came down to disrupt him. But again, like the thing that catches most people out, the Crystron trap. If your opponent targets one of your Crystrons, you can banish the trap from your grave and negate it. So
that's pretty cool.
So he's managed to protect himself from Snow there, but like we said, he's got a big fucking graveyard, so he's got another one. Doesn't matter. And
pretty
HardLeg.
Cool though, too. That's not even that trap is a once per turn too. That's pretty cool.
Only one in the grave though, so HardLeg is going to have a hard time coming out of this one.
Hard time. Hard times are falling on HardLeg.
Exactly.
Oh my god, the puns.
So if Rata should basically have game in like 5 million different ways. I'm just trying to see which method he's choosing.
Well, he should, but you know,
He
we thought he had game last time too.
Anything can happen here at the YugiTuber Grand Championship.
Oh yeah, because we're only the most professional player.
If I was Rata, I would legitimately just Judgment Drag in the field. Because he's got 2 snow, so like he's gonna kill him regardless. He's seen the trap, he knows how the trap works. So you know, like use BLS first, and then Judgment Drag in the field, and you shouldn't be scared. But he's going into Powered and Zektron.
Powered and Zektron. Okay, so this I believe he can't be destroyed by battle or card effect the turn it synchro summon.
So if he did my play of Judgment Dragging in the field, he would have lost the game. So it's a good thing that Rata's not listening to me. Yeah, I forgot about this guy.
Well, but would it though? Because okay, so it also has the effect that you take no damage for the turn.
Yeah.
So, but the thing is, would it actually have? Does it have to trigger? Because if it was so chain link wise, the Crystron would summon the Powered and Zektron, but then JD would be chain link 1 and would nuke the board. So would the Power and Zektron get an opportunity to trigger?
It's a continuous effect, so.
But it's a when this card is synchro summoned.
Oh right, yeah. So it could like miss timing and all sorts of nonsense. I'm just gonna flip a coin right now. Let's see. It's tails. So yeah, you're right. It would miss timing. Let's go with that.
I don't know. I could be wrong, but if it has
no. We've done the coin toss. It's fine. Like.
Yeah. Okay, you're right. That's all this game is when it comes to rulings.
This is the only time he's ever been useful. Yeah, HardLeg. Speaking some Crystron facts right now. One of the guys has a restriction. I can't remember which one, where you can only make machines. So that's why you have to play like some machine that's good in your Crystron deck. And apparently that's like the best one you could find.
That's why we saw like a super heavy samurai last game. Like the machine synchro pool is not the most vast.
Please, Konami, help! Like we need more reactive level 7 synchros.
Okay, in your opinion, so what do they need? Do they just need like a level 7 machine synchro monster that has like a good effect?
So Garion Quandrax is really good because it banishes 3 guys. But it's too high level, so you need like another body on the field to resolve it.
And you need 2 tuners. Which
it's a lot of setup.
Difficult, but it's awkward. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So they need something like Garion Quandrax, but a lower level, but obviously like less powerful. So I don't know, maybe you can like even just like Book of Moon one of your opponent's monsters. Like that would be like something. Because the only disruption they have that's lower than level 9 is like Amatrix, which puts your opponent's monsters to defense, which was like not relevant really with Link monsters. So yeah, it doesn't help a ton. Now
hear me out. FA Dawn Dragster is a machine, and it negates spell and trap card.
I can't remember what that thing does, but I do know that that's like the best FA card now, right?
Yeah, it's a level 7, it's a machine, and it's just once per turn you reduce its level by 2, and it's a quick effect, and you can negate a spell or trap card.
Okay.
So like
cool.
That's actually pretty good for this deck.
Is it generic? It is generic.
It is generic, yes.
Okay.
So that's actually a tool that this deck could potentially play around with.
Opponent activates the spell or trap. You can reduce this by 2 and negate it. Yeah. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So I've just had a proper skim of that. There we go. Indirect support.
See, but it's not like it's not disruptive when it hits the board, like compared to something like Trish or anything like that. Mm-hmm. But it's something. It's something. So
you'd have to like preemptively make it.
Right.
But yeah, it's something like you said, like compared to what they have now, which is like Powered and Zektron. It's not really doing much. But we're finally seeing ties come into play here.
Yeah. And this is nasty. This looks like a pretty good board.
It's surprisingly not as good as you think. Oh wait, no, it is really good because Steam Synchron's a tuner. Okay, so this is really good. So he's got 6/3. Yeah, he's got Garion Quandrax available to be played. I think Garion Quandrax actually needs a synchro tuner.
And he has the trap too, so he can resurrect the I forget the smog?
Smiger.
Smiger. I
He's
knew
a
it was
tiger,
something
but
like
he's made of I think smelt is supposed to be the pun they went there.
Smiger.
So the Crystrons. Here's some lore for you guys. They're all based off of
Ooh.
like different metals and minerals and stuff like
And
that.
animals.
Yeah, animals as well. So you have like the turtle there, the little green boy. He's a turtle.
So it's crystal beasts, but like
I think they're
not.
supposed to be like True Draco's like arch nemesis or something in the lore.
okay.
Maybe that's why I like inherently like just like this deck subconsciously, like because I don't like True
Because
Draco,
you
right?
hate True Draco that much.
Yeah. So Rata is a really big fan of Minerva. Just
Yeah.
loves making her turn one.
And loves hitting Wolf off Minerva's name.
Yeah, he's really good at that.
In a 60-card deck on top of it.
So I'm just trying to like count the numbers here, see what he's got for disruption.
Okay, so he made a proxy dragon. Oh, he had JD, that's why. Okay, that makes sense. So now something has to happen here.
Yeah.
And
he can make.
What
Ooh.
the hell is that?
It is White Aura
so
Whale.
Whale? Okay. So what does this do?
So it's when it's synchro, destroy all your opponent's attack position monsters.
Oh, that's good. So
yeah.
It's good that rank 10 special summoned his Chaos Hunter into that then as well.
Yeah, that was he just didn't see that coming. It's a weird number. I haven't seen this played in Crystron because level 8, like normally you go into like 5 and 7 and 9 and 4.
Yeah, it's odd numbers, right?
Yeah, other than your
Yeah.
Klondikes, but yeah. So if you can make this guy, then this is really good disruption.
That's crazy, yeah.
So
I think that was from Battles of Legend, but like this is probably the first card this card's formally been seen in any sort of competitive setting.
yeah, I see it's got a floating effect as well. I think if this card you control is destroyed by your opponent's card, battle or card effect, banish an other water, and then you can special this back, and it's treated as a tuner.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yes, I mean
there
basically it'll
anything,
never go away because like all of your crystals
Can you really
are
make
water.
anything with it though?
Sorry.
Can you really make anything with it, or does it get the effect again to nuke the board? Or is it only when that's
No, it
synchro
doesn't get
summoned?
that effect.
Oh, that would be insane. Okay.
It's only when it's synchro summoned.
Could you imagine just like banish special nuke your board again?
It'd be pretty nuts. But it
Oh
can,
my
it can
God.
attack twice on monsters.
Yeah.
And this looks
Hey,
like
it looks like it put in work because it looks like HardLeg's gonna move on to the next round.
Congratulations, my friend.
Yeah, what a way to end out the first round. So guys, thank you so much for watching the video, and we will see you in round 2.